to decide that the things that I tried were in my life.
Once they arrived at the victim's home, the defendant had Ms. McCabe looked at that same cracked taillight. Ms. McCabe described the passenger side right rear taillight as cracked.
I played on all my life to sacrifice. Hey, oh, listen what I say, oh. I got your hey, oh, now listen what I say, oh. When will I know that I really can go to the well once more? Time to decide on when it's killing me. When will I really see all that I need to look inside? Come to believe that I better not leave before I get...
Ring videos from 1 Meadows Avenue, Mr. O'Keefe's residence. And the search warrant that was applied for was any and all videos between January 24th and January 30th, correct?
For one of the search warrants, that's correct, yes.
With respect to that time frame, what, if any, activity based on information that you had received was not available or was not shown on those Ring videos?
There was also video missing from the defendant showing Ms. McCabe and Ms. Roberts the damage to her right rear taillight.
Chance to ride. When it's killing me, what do I really need? All that I need to look inside. Hey, oh.
I reached out to Ring several different times. They informed me if a video is deleted, there's no digital footprint of that. It's essentially kind of gone forever.
Listen what I say, oh. Come back and hey, oh. Look at what I say.
When you get to Mr. O'Keefe's house, where do you park?
I pull in the straight in the driveway.
And after you pull into the driveway, at some point you all get out, correct?
Yes,
Do you recall who pulled in first as far as who was in front of who on the way to Meadows, yourself or Ms. Roberts?
I believe I was in front.
You would have pulled into the driveway and parked, and Ms. Roberts would have pulled in and parked behind, correct?
Yes.
Ms. McCabe, directing your attention up to the screen, what's been marked as Exhibit 6 or video from Exhibit 6. Do you recognize what's depicted in this video?
I do.
And what do you recognize it to be?
That's myself getting out of the car at Meadows Ave.
Is that essentially where you parked Ms. Reed's vehicle when you pulled in?
Yes.
If you could, just direct the jury's attention with the laser pointer as to where Ms. Reed's vehicle is that you parked and if you see Ms. Roberts' vehicle.
That is Miss Reed's, and that would be Miss Roberts.
The three of you get out of your respective vehicles. What happened then?
Karen brings us to the back of the car and says, look, see, I have a cracked taillight.
And where on the vehicle was she directing yourself and Ms. Roberts' attention to?
The back right.
So passenger side, rear part of the vehicle.
Yes.
And when you looked at that area of the vehicle, what could you see at that point?
I saw that there were missing pieces, but there was also snow covering it. And Karen was screaming, look, look, and then Kerry was screaming back at her. It was very chaotic, so I didn't stare in depth, but what I can tell you is there were missing, I saw missing pieces from the taillight.
And then at some point, about how long a period of time is this that you're out in Mr. O'Keefe's driveway looking at the cracked taillight?
Not long, because then Kerry's, yelling at her, telling her she's crazy and that she was driving around drunk and she could have hit anything, and kind of rushes us to go into the house to look in there for John.
If you could, with the laser pointers, just direct the jury's attention to where you observe that. Now, ma'am, with respect to what's depicted in this photograph as far as any damage that you observed to this taillight area on the rear passenger side, is that consistent with what you observed in the driveway at 1 Meadows Ave when the defendant was showing?
Correct, minus the snow, etc.
what, if any, information did you receive as far as what sort of devices or how many different devices were able to access that footage?
Yeah, I wasn't able to obtain a activity log of who was using the device, what device was accessing the system.
I'll call it, is it correct to say an activity log?
That's what was requested, yes, activity log, yes.
So ultimately, the activity log would show who logs in, who accesses the data, things of that nature, correct? Or at least that was the hope.
That is what was requested.
When you reviewed those log or activity logs, there was no evidence revealed that my client ever logged into that account, correct?
There was no activity logs provided by Ring.
So you have zero, hang on. Isn't it true that Ring contacted Trooper Proctor and indicated that they had created a Dropbox folder specified account information, video recordings, and number 3, activity logs associated with video recordings are all times displayed in UTC?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Do you recall that activity logs were in fact provided from the Ring Corporation?
I do not recall that, no.
Okay. May I approach briefly?
Yes.
Take a look, Sergeant, at that paragraph with my fingers on it. Does this refresh your recollection as to the items received from the Ring Corporation?
That is the first time I saw that document, so it does not refresh my recollection. I simply read it.
As you sit here, that in fact, during the course of your investigation, the 3 items that you received from the Ring Corporation were the account information, the video recordings, and, quote, activity logs associated with the video recordings, all times displayed in UTC.
To the extent of its availability, as it says in that document.
The long and short of it is, during the entire course of your investigation, you never revealed that investigation never revealed any evidence whatsoever that my client ever even accessed the account information for the Ring account associated with this search warrant, correct?
Nothing provided by Ring proved or suggested or proved any evidence of that type of activity, no.
Thank you.
I wasn't able to obtain a activity log of who was using the device, what device was accessing the system.
Who was the author of the search warrant and the affiant?
It was Trooper Mike Proctor.
Who received the actual Ring video or videos from the Ring Corporation?
It was Trooper Mike Proctor received them.
And who ultimately either logged those into evidence or controlled those once they were received from the Ring Corporation?
I believe it was Trooper Mike Proctor.
Listen what I say, oh. I got your hey, oh. Listen what I say, oh. The more I see, the less I know, the more I love.